Donald Trump is panicking as his own supporters are now trying to kill him. That's right, Donald Trump's supporters, MAGA members, are trying to murder Donald Trump. The armed man who was shot and killed by Secret Service agents outside of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago property on Sunday at approximately 1:30 a.m. was a big Trump and MAGA supporter. His family were big Trumpers, and apparently one of the reasons he was there with the shotgun was he read the Epstein files and he was horrified by what he read. He's a vocal supporter of Trump and he became obsessed with the Epstein files. Here are his text messages to a friend from a week ago or so. He said to his friend, "I don't know if you read up on the Epstein files, but evil is real and unmistakable. The best people like you and I can do is use what little influence we have. Tell other people about what you hear about the Epstein files and what the government is doing about it. Raise awareness." Now, this individual, Austin Tucker Martin, his family's been speaking out and they've been saying, "We're so surprised. We're all Trumpers. We're MAGA. He was MAGA. How did this happen?" And that's what we are hearing now. But if you go and look at the past individuals who've been involved in either assassinations or assassination attempts, they've been MAGA, or their families have been ultra MAGA. Remember Thomas Matthew Crook, the purported guy who was involved in the assassination in Butler, the attempted assassination of Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Here's a photo of him right here. His family from Pennsylvania, big Trumpers, big MAGA. What about this guy, Tyler Robinson, who was alleged to have assassinated Charlie Kirk? His family, Utah, MAGA family. I think we're sensing a theme right here, okay? Now, but all of MAGA, all of them were out to basically attack Democrats right away and say, oh, it's what they always do. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on the morning shows went out and he was like, this is caused by the rhetoric from the left. This is caused by the left's rhetoric. All these people are always MAGA. Every time we report on this, they're all MAGA. They're all MAGA people. Here's what Besson said. Here, play this clip.
Maria, I just want to say, why don't we look back here and think two would-be assassins dead, one in jail for life, and this venom coming from the other side. Look at this terrible, profane Senate commercial in Illinois. I would call for them to take that down. Take that down, because it is that kind of venom that we don't know whether this person was a mastermind, unhinged, or what, but they are normalizing this violence. It's got to stop. I want to congratulate Sean Curran and the Secret Service for protecting the president and his family.
So then we heard from FBI Director Kash Patel, and here's what he said after the individual was killed, after Austin Tucker Martin was killed by the Secret Service and the police. Patel posted, FBI is dedicating all necessary resources in the investigation of this morning's incident at Trump's Mar-a-Lago, where an unarmed individual was shot and killed after unlawfully entering the perimeter. We will continue working closely with Secret Service as well as our state and federal partners, and will provide updates as we are able. And then Kash Patel took a $70 million private jet paid for by the taxpayers to Milan, where he watched the U.S. Hockey Olympic team win the gold medal. And then he started chugging beers and celebrating with the Olympic team. He wore the gold medal himself. He got heavily intoxicated, it appeared from the video, and he started celebrating as though he won the Olympic gold medal. In my view, what we observed is patently unlawful. It's an abuse of his power. It's an abuse of his position. I believe it is criminal right here. And take a look right here, first posted by William Turton. A source sent this video of FBI Director Kash Patel partying in the locker room with the men's Olympic hockey team. Watch this. And here's what Ken Delanian posted. So there's multiple videos of him celebrating. Play this clip.
Let's go!
And notably, his spokespeople all day were saying that he was not going to be doing that when everybody was reporting and saying, you know, Kash Patel's flying into Milan on the taxpayer dime to watch the game. And not only was Kash Patel watching the game, he gave us all the freaking middle finger, including, I believe, the U.S. hockey team. He gave them the middle finger by taking away their moment, making it about himself. And now what people are talking about is not that the hockey team won the gold medal, but freaking Kash Patel. Here's what his spokesperson was saying earlier in the day before we saw him in the locker room. And they were attacking Ken Delanian of NBC, who does MS Now, rather. He's a very good reporter, and Ben Williamson writes about Ken. Your rag outlet wrote that he went to hang out at the Olympics on the taxpayer dime, even when provided information that your theory was false. When you're ready to correct that, let me know. Won't hold my breath. And then Williamson kept on posting. This is the fourth public official event since Director Patel's arrival in Italy. And for those wondering, I have yet to receive any follow-up from CBS or MS Now who purposefully misled people to think Kash was flying to Italy to hang out at the Olympics. Have they no shame? Seriously, that's what his spokesperson was saying all day. And then Kash Patel started chugging beers, hanging out in the locker room, wearing the gold medal on the taxpayer dime. Americans are suffering right now. Americans can't afford anything. Americans are psychologically tortured, living paycheck to paycheck if they're lucky enough to get a freaking paycheck. Americans can't afford their rent. They certainly can't afford to buy homes. They've had their health care ripped away from these Trump regime. The Affordable Care Act subsidies are gone. We're in a partial government shutdown right now because the Trump regime says it's a non-starter to remove masks from ICE and Border Patrol Gestapo who were terrorizing, torturing, and killing people here in these United States. You have Americans suffering each and every day. Trump's threatening wars with every freaking country imaginable. And you have Patel grifting like that while his spokesperson says, oh, he's not going to be doing that. As our editor Ron Filipkowski wrote, Patel grifting that trip to the Olympics had to be painful, though, for Christine Nome to watch. She was probably looking for a way to get there herself and justify it, but the Department of Homeland Security shutdown combined with the timing of the Mile High Club jet story, which said that her and Corey Lewandowski, who it's alleged she's having an affair with, are on this other $70 million jet showering together and having sex together on this queen-size bed. I mean, this is the allegations. I don't know. I'm giving my opinion, First Amendment speech based on the allegations, but lots of people are saying in their opinion that there's an affair taking place between them and Lewandowski, but they're flying around on this private jet and whatever they're doing, I'll just say, whatever's going on the jet as they travel around together. I have no evidence that there's actually whatever, but you get the point. The Mile High Club jet story made the optics too much even for the Trump administration in her case, but Kash Patel responds, unity, sacrifice, attitude, what it takes to be the best in the world. These men live and breathe it. Now Team USA are gold medal champions, legends, standing on the shoulders of giants. Thank you for representing the greatest country on earth and the greatest game ever created. Congrats, boys. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, goes, who could have possibly anticipated that it would be a clown show? And here's Kash Patel. By the way, they're covering up the Epstein files. They're covering up a child sex trafficking ring. These predators, these ghouls, this cabal is in the Oval Office. And then this guy is out there gallivanting in Milan. We're paying for that. That's where my and your taxpayer dollars are going to. So these pedo protectors can freaking celebrate and disgrace our nation after the Olympic team wins the gold medal. And it's horrible, horrible. And Patel goes, for the very concerned media, yes, I love America and was extremely humbled when my friends, the newly minted gold medal winners on Team USA, invited me into the locker room to celebrate this historic moment with the boys. With the boys, everybody. Greatest country on earth and greatest sport on earth. They're not your friends, you weirdo. You think they're your friends? You're the FBI director. Somehow, they have no choice but to let you in. They're not your friends. You delusional idiot. What are you talking about? As Sam Stein writes. So, we've got the FBI director chugging beers with the Olympic hockey team in Milan. We have the Department of Defense secretary posting workout videos on the daily. We have the Health and Human Services secretary doing cold plunges in jeans with Kid Rock. And we have the CMS administrator doing tree pull-ups and serving Mediterranean feasts. What a gig. This was Hegseth. He posted this yesterday, claiming he bench pressed 315 pounds. And for those who are familiar with bench pressing, and I'm not purporting to be a bench pressing expert myself, although I spoke with many, he ain't bench pressing 315, okay? These are either dummy weights or CrossFit rubber weight. He's not benching 315. Let's be very clear right now. But this is what he posts. Play this clip. And then going back to what's happening in our country, FBI were warned that Epstein could be destroying evidence in an incinerator after suspicious barn was built at Zorro Ranch, where former workers claim that the pedo was burning strangled girls. And as you know what's happening with the Zorro Ranch right now, it was purchased by a big MAGA politician, friend of Donald Trump's, Don Huffines, who has now announced conveniently after New Mexico said that it was having a truth commission to start subpoenaing and investigating what went down in that Zorro Ranch. Now it's being turned into a Christian retreat for children, for kiddies. Yes, Epstein's Zorro Ranch is now under construction by a Trump supporter who went to Moscow in 2018, and he's turning it into a kiddie Christian retreat. Everybody makes sense. Oh my God. What else is Donald Trump posting? We're winning too much. It's just not fair, he says. He goes, we're winning too much. Lots of winning. Yeah, all his posts last night were, we're winning. Lots of winning. Our GDP is crap right now, right? 1.4%. And now all the projections going forward is anemic around that as well because of your new tariffs against the world, unlawfully invoking the Trade Act of 1974, Section 122, when there is no basis to invoke that at all. I'll do a whole other video on that. You have, PCE inflation rising to 3%. It is not looking good for our economy, folks. And by the way, even the biggest Trump sycophant bootlicker of them all, Benny Johnson, had this to say about the cover-up of the Epstein files. Let's play it.
Everyone's attacking Trump over this. I think some of that attacks is totally justified. I will never defend the way that the files release was handled. I think it's been, I think everyone agrees that it has to be handled better, should have been handled better. This should have been the transparency moment, and it wasn't. And it was unnecessary political damage that was done.
There you have it. Let me know what y'all think. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.